So we have Dr. Mario Fucinari with us today, and he's going to walk you through all of these changes and exactly how this is going to impact your office. Dr. Fucinari?
Thank you, Mark, and thank you for joining us again for another update, which in 1 month, I believe this is our 5th update on material from Medicare. Nothing ever stays the same in Medicare, so please stay tuned, take a class, and learn everything it does impact your bottom line here. All right, so we're going to talk about the 59 modifier, how it applies to regular insurance and how it applies to Medicare. We'll do this quickly here. It's not a complete class, but it's enough to give you the information. And so I'm going to trace back to what is called the National Correct Coding Edits, the NCCI edits there. The NCCI edits, those are, it's a government program, of course, but it does not apply only to Medicare. It's to everybody. And these edits, it's kind of like if I have a heart catheterization, then they charge for the heart catheterization, but they don't split it up and piecemeal it like here is for a cut down on the femoral artery, here's for a catheter insertion, here's for the analysis. It's all one price. And that's part of the NCCI edits. Well, there is an NCCI edit, one of them that affects chiropractic, which is the 59 modifier. The 59 modifier basically says that when you do spinal manipulation to a region and you're adjusting, let's say, the cervical spine, then you cannot do other types of therapies to that region that involve manual or muscle manipulation, okay? So what does that mean? Well, the 59 modifier says that if I am doing massage or I am doing neuromuscular re-education or I'm doing trigger point therapy, I can't do those things, massage 97124, neuromuscular re-education, which is 97112, or trigger point therapy 97140. I can't do it to the same region the same day that I'm doing spinal manipulation. Now, I know you can give an argument, and I would too. That's the way it is. We have to live with it, okay? But what about if I do, let's say, manipulation to the lumbar spine, and I do trigger point therapy to the cervical and traps? Well, that's okay. And so to communicate to the carrier that this is okay and that we understand that I'm unbundling it, we use what's called the 59 modifier, which is the distinct procedural service modifier. So that modifier, we commonly call that the pay me modifier, which says, hey, I understand the rule, but this is an exception, pay me. Well, Medicare says that in their studies, along with other carriers, this has been abused. And so now Medicare has come up with the subsets of the 59 modifier, okay? So the subsets, or the X modifiers, it's like the XE modifier, those modifiers itself, that is to be used instead of the 59 modifier. Now, this is only for Medicare. All right, so the XE modifier, as an example, separate encounter service that's distinct because it occurred during a separate encounter, which is a different day. Well, that doesn't even apply here, okay? The one that is going to apply and that you want to use, and I'll show you how to use this, is the XS, okay? XS as in Sam, and that's where a service that is distinct because it was performed on a separate organ or structure, or you could even say a separate region, okay? And the other ones there are the XP and the XU, and those are distinct because it was performed by a different practitioner. Well, what do they mean by a different practitioner? Well, Medicare says that, number one, make sure that you're not using these X modifiers to skirt around the edits. And number two, that a practitioner is, to qualify as practitioner, it's two physicians in the same group, which means, like, I have an employee who is one of my associate doctors. She's in the same group with me, and so therefore, same specialty, that is considered the same physician. So you can't get around that, okay? So basically, if you or your doctor staff are doing any massage, trigger point therapy, and or neuromuscular re-education on the same day as manipulation, you can't do it to the same region, okay? All right, so on here, we'll have a claim form. Now, this is normal insurance. This is the way it's now, okay? And the key is I have here 98940, and you'll see there 98940 along with the different codes, diagnosis codes. You see in box 24E where it says C and D, and then underneath it 9714059 modifier A and B, that is the diagnosis pointing. That points to the diagnosis that we're using. So what I'm telling them there is that 98940 was done to C and D, which is to the lumbar region for degenerative disc disease, as an example. 97140 was done to a separate region. A, the diagnosis 21A is thoracic region, thoracic sprain, and in this case here, 729.1 is mild fasciitis or fibromyalgia, and so we split it up, okay? And that's how it's done for Blue Cross and everybody else. The problem, by the way, comes in when you put in a 98941 or 42. That triggers an audit, all right? Because you're saying I did manipulation to 4 regions, up to 4 regions, but I did trigger point therapy to the 5th region. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's take a look. And so they're going to look at your notes here. So it's nice to know the red flag, okay? Now, so the modifier, this is only having to do when you do 3 services along with the manipulation: massage, neuromuscular re-education, manual therapy, okay? And 97124, 112, and 140. Okay. Now in Medicare, now we have as an example the XS modifier. You use that instead of the 59 modifier, and I'm quoting here. Medicare says that you use the 59 modifier only as a last resort now. Okay. And so as an example, we have up here 98940 AT. It was done to the A region, which is 739.3. We don't put the point in anymore, okay? And then 97140 XS, GY, it's not a covered service with Medicare, and GX. Well, if it's not a covered service, why do I even need to do it? And that is because if you need a denial for another insurance or the patient demands that you file it, then you have to do it. So in cases where Medicare is primary, you'll have to do it this way that you see on the screen. In cases where Medicare is secondary, even though they're going to process it, then you have to make sure you do it on the screen. All other insurances, Medicare says, we want you to follow this, but the other insurances have not so far. But this just came out on January 19th, 2015, so it's pretty new. I expect that all the other carriers are going to follow along with this, so you'll be on the leading edge, okay? So as changes occur, you're going to see this here, but make sure that you use the X modifiers properly with your 97140, 112, or 124, okay? Stay tuned for further updates, and you can see those updates at the Illinois Chiropractic Society's website, which is ilchiro.org, ilchiro.org. Make sure you like them, and you can also like me. This is facebook.com. Don't do regular Facebook. I don't do regular Facebook. Facebook.com/AskMario, and like me there, and as changes occur, we will get the word out, and please, please, please just take a class and learn all the changes, because there's several occurring here. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, Dr. Fucineri,
Yes.
can I ask you a quick question here, just to follow up, make sure that we're all on the same page? Then how would these claims be processed with secondaries? Are the secondaries going to accept those additional claims after Medicare processes them with the X modifiers, or are we going to run into some issues there potentially?
Do you want my opinion, or do you want the way it's going to be? The way it's going to be, I don't know. This just came out last week, so I would tell you that, in my opinion, all the carriers know about this. All the carriers, because this came out January 5th, but then it was clarified on the 19th, and so everybody is aware of this. And I'll bet that their medical policy review board is looking at this here, because if there's a way that they can deny it, they're going to do it. And so I see all this changing throughout the industry.
Fantastic. I truly appreciate you helping us out and informing the profession of exactly what's going on with the X modifiers. And as Dr. Fucineri indicated, we highly encourage you to take a Medicare class or a documentation class, and we've got a number of those classes available. You can check those classes out at illinoiscme.com or at ilchiro.org. Thank you again, Doctor.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Healthier. It's a powerful word. It's in our DNA. It's what gets us up in the morning. It's what helps bring a smile to our faces. It's what defines the chiropractic profession. Healthier is our purpose, our passion, and must be our unifying mission. Our communities will become healthier with chiropractic care, and our goal is to grow chiropractic utilization in Illinois to 18% by 2018. When 18% of a culture understands and embraces a common message, it creates a tipping point where a rare phenomenon becomes an unstoppable movement. We must create an unstoppable, healthier chiropractic movement. Our consistent, empowering, and meaningful message is being delivered to decision makers across Illinois. We are changing the opinion of our communities and our culture, helping them live healthier. Healthier is obtainable, and now is the time to stop telling each other and start telling the world with a consistent, relevant, and unified message about the importance of chiropractic. We will demonstrate the incredible savings, unprecedented patient satisfaction, unmatched safety, and ultimate power of chiropractic. We know the people we serve, our patients, love their healthier lives. Now it is time to help more people, see more patients, make Illinois healthier. Join the Illinois Chiropractic Society in our drive to make sure that at least 18% of Illinois is using chiropractic by 2018. Together, we will make this happen. Are you in? Then visit 18by2018.com now to find out how we will make this happen.